In this tutorial, I'll talk about how we can create different menu items, as well as items like this floating menu right here, and this burger menu over here for when the screen size is more like the size of a mobile device, such as this iPhone 8, as you can see on this other tab that I brought up in my browser. So this burger menu right here can be used to display whatever menu you want, or it can automatically combine the menu items that you see up here, such as home, contact us, about, services, including this submenu, services and clients. So I already created a different tutorial about creating pages, where you come over here and you click this new page button to add pages to your website, and then I quickly showed how you can display the page by first choosing which element you want to display it in. So in this case, for home, contact us, about, and services, and so forth, we created this section of our website right in the center, and then came down here and gave it an item name called main pages displayer. So it displays all of our main pages. And then we create a page such as our home page, and we put a button right here on this black navigation bar at the top of our website and labeled that home. And then we came down and we said when somebody clicks on this home button to display the main home page that we created earlier, and display that in the main pages displayer, which is again this blank section that's in the middle right now, which is kind of white. All right, so that was a quick example of creating a very simple, adding a page and creating a little menu item called home, and putting it up in this top navigation bar. Even though we could put it anywhere we want, we could take it down here and put it in our footer section of our website, or we could add an additional home button in our footer section. Pretty much whatever you want to do for displaying pages and creating menus and ways to navigate to those pages on your website. Here's an example of a home button, and we use buttons because they have multi-state. You have when you touch down or release your touch from your screen, or you press the mouse button down or and release, and which is a mouse button up state, then the button will display different states when you click on it. So when you click down, it has a different background, which is a little bit dimmer, and the text shows up differently. And then when you release, then it shows up with a wider background and the different look for the text. Same thing with this one. We can get rid of the background colors and borders, and we can just we can create a white text when it's in the up state or the non-touched state, and then when we touch down or mouse down, we can change the text color, so it gives a nice transition for the user when you're clicking up and down on different items. So okay, so when we click on it, it displays the page, contact us. So anyways, it has this nice transition for down state, up state, touch down, touch up. Okay, so those are really simple menu items. So then we want to go on to something a little more complex, which is this floater menu, and then we'll follow up with the burger menu later. So the floater menu starts by adding another page, and then we give that page a name that corresponds to what we're using it for. So if I go in and I edit this floater menu item, then I can see that I gave it a page name of submenu 1, because we could have a submenu 1, 2, 3, 4 under each one of our home tab, contact us tab, and so forth. So it's a floater menu, and the way that we display that floater menu is we come up here and choose which item we want to use to display it. So once again, it's a button item, and it currently has services label. So we go in and edit that item, and we can say that we're choosing to display the page submenu 1, and we display it in item top. So if you start out with a completely blank screen for your website, you can set that item name right up here as top, which I've already done for our top item in this website. So it's going to display in the very top item, which means it can display anywhere from the very top of your screen, left of your screen, all the way to the right and bottom. If we chose a different item like this black section at the bottom of our website, which is like a footer section, then it would only be able to show up somewhere in this footer section. So anyways, we choose to display submenu 1 as the page, and then display it in our top item, and we want to display it as a floater. So it's important to check this box right here to display as floater. Else, if it displays in our top item, it would take up the entire width and height of the top item, which is our entire website. So it displays it as a floater to maintain its width and height that you set, and then we choose to display it below the item that we're displaying it in. And again, we're editing this services item, so it's going to display right below this services button. And the other thing that we do, I won't talk about that right now. Okay, so we display it as a floater, and then a couple things here. We can check this box right here, which is outside click remove. So if somebody clicks outside of this submenu, like over here, for instance, then it will remove this floater menu. The other thing we could check is remove all floaters if we do a click end within this item, and that actually has to be set within this submenu item. And right now we're editing the services button. So that's how we display it as a floater. Outside click remove, and then display below. And outside click remove, it's set up to remove it even though it's technically being set on the services button. It still understands that when you say outside click remove, you're talking about this submenu that it displays, even though it should actually be set within the settings of this floater item. So we can say OK to that. And so when we click outside, it gets removed, and when we click this button item, it displays the floater menu for us. And then inside this floater menu, I just quickly put a couple button items in there. Obviously, it's just a demo, so it's not too glamorous looking. And when you create a page, it's usually a default square, and it's gray color, and there's no border. And just to show you that I changed the background color to like a sort of a bluish color and set a border. So I came in here and set the border to a solid with a width of 1 and then a corner radius. So the corners of the floater menu are actually rounded a little bit instead of just being square points or square corners. So that's how you display a submenu. And then onto the burger menu. So I say burger menu because a lot of people in the field of creating websites like to imagine that this little image right here looks like a burger. So right now this burger menu is being set up to display the floater menu I just talked about. So we don't actually want to do that. We want to, by default, we typically have it just combine all of the home, contact us, about services, and event buttons, as well as the actual floater menu for services. It would add the services and client submenus underneath services on our combiner menu for our burger mobile layout. So let's set it up to display, to automatically add these menu items to our combiner menu. And the way we do that is we set this button to display if any wrap. So when your website gets more gets wider. So if we go to an iPad Pro and refresh the screen, or let's see, maybe this layout right here. Okay, so if we make our website wider, then it shows up with our with a typical desktop layout or laptop layout where we can see all of our menu items up here like this because the screen is wide enough. But then when we go down to a smaller screen width like an iPhone 8, then it automatically wraps those items. And so if let's see, so for instance, if I go to the About page, you can see that the community outreach is on the left, and then this corresponding image is on the right. But if I go to a narrower screen width, then it's going to wrap this image and go put it below this community outreach. So let me see, go to iPhone 8, and you can see how it wraps it. So that's what I mean by wrap. So to we want to just display this burger menu for mobile layout only if these items have to wrap due to a too narrow of a screen width, such as a mobile device. And then otherwise we want to just keep it hidden. So we'll display it if wrapped, and then we would set all these other items like home, contact us, and about to hide if anything wraps within this black navigation bar. And that way we get to this mobile look where we just have the other items hidden, and we just have this burger item displayed when things have to wrap due to a narrower screen width. Okay, so we displayed if any wrap, and then we display our menu, which right now is set to submenu 1, but we want to not display submenu 1 because that's actually for underneath our services button. So I created a burger float menu specifically for combining all of our menu items when it needs to be a mobile layout. And that's just another page added to the website, and then we give it a name, burger float menu, and we display that in the top item as well, and then display it as a floater like I already mentioned. Outside click remove, so if somebody clicks outside of it, it'll just go away. And then the trick here is that we want to set this burger menu button as a combiner. So that means that when somebody when the width of the screen is a mobile width or a really narrow width, even on a desktop or a laptop, then it's going to combine all of our home, contact us, about menu items and display them in this burger float menu for us automatically, if you choose. Else, I'll show you later how you can just create your own custom floater menu, just like we did for services, and display it in under here. Actually, I could show you that right now. I already had it set up like that where it was displaying the submenu 1. So obviously we could create like a burger float menu. We could even use the burger float menu we already have and populate it. And the only difference is that we don't choose this. We don't set this to be a combiner. We just uncheck that, and then it won't automatically populate the home, contact us, and about on our burger float menu for us, and we'll have to just display whatever floater menu we created ourselves, which allows us to customize the look and feel of the mobile floater menu instead of just automatically populating what we see currently up here. So let's set it as a combiner, and I'll show you how it automatically populates what we already have set as our menu items up at the top. And we'll just do the same thing, display below. So we'll display right below this burger button image. Okay, so it's set as a combiner, and we'll go to navigate, and well, right now it's not going to combine unless we publish this website. So the site's saved and published. Then we go over here, refresh the screen, and we're already on the iPhone 8 Plus width, so it shows our burger menu button. So I click on that, and you can see how it combined all of our menu items that we currently have displayed onto this this burger floater menu. So this is just an example again. So you typically would have all of your menu items as maybe text. That's pretty popular with websites, is just to use text and not have background images and borders and so forth. I was just showing you the different ways that we can display menu items. So we can display them as tabs, and just place them down at the bottom so it looks like a tabular layout. We can display just the text. We can display it as a button if we want, and we can use images. Like this is an actual image for this menu item right here. You could use any image you want for the upstate and the downstate. When somebody presses down with their mouse or touches down with their finger and releases with their mouse or releases with their finger. So it's just displaying our example menu items and the different look and feels that we currently have set, which is pretty simple. Nothing too fancy. It's just just for this example, and it automatically populates because it's set as a combiner that combines all the items for us. So we can click on services and it does nothing. Normally it would show that submenu, but these items, services, and clients were also told to show on the combiner, and I'll show you in a second how to do that. So if I click on this button, then it will actually take us to our services page, which is, again, is just an example page, so it's nothing fancy right now. It doesn't look too good. Or our clients page, for instance. And then we can go to our events page for, wedding and birthdays. Okay, so I'll show you right now how to get services and clients to actually show up in the submenu on the combiner submenu or not show. So currently they're displaying. So let me go to navigate, click on services so we can edit these submenu items. So I edit services button and uncheck display in combiner. So currently services and clients are displaying in the combiner menu item for mobile layout. So I've unchecked that. So services will no longer display. So I'll just go ahead and publish that so we can take a look at the change to our website. So now I'll refresh this page and click on our little mobile burger menu. You can see that services submenu was removed underneath our services section for this combiner floater menu that is automatically combining our menu items. And then if I go ahead and remove the client's submenu item as well from the combiner, then it will once again show up as a floater menu with our custom blue background and rounded corners and so forth. So uncheck display in combiner. So now we're no longer displaying services or clients inside the combiner when it's a mobile layout. So let's say okay to that. Go ahead and publish that. And then refresh this page. So when I click on this burger menu for the mobile layout, you can see that the services submenu items were no longer being added to this combiner floater menu. So when I click on it, it just displays as it did on our desktop or laptop layout as a floater menu with our custom background color and rounded corners and so forth. So I can go to the clients page from here, for instance. So it gives you a lot of flexibility for what you want to add to the combiner and how you want to add it, and whether or not you want to have your submenus automatically show up as well, and which menu items you want to have show up on the combiner floater menu, either all or some. And then whether or not you want to if you add one of the submenu items to the combiner, then it won't populate, it won't show this submenu like this. It will actually just show up on the combiner menu itself. So that's it. I mean, you can create simple menu items up in the navigation bar. You can change their look and feel. You can create submenus like the services and client submenu. You can create use just like leave it looking more like a button the events one, and then you can create this special combiner menu for automatically combining all of these top menu items into a combiner floater menu when the screen width is the mobile width or just a narrower width on your laptop or desktop. So it will collapse down and give you a mobile combiner menu, or burger menu is what people like to call it. I guess the only other things to mention are that once again you can put these menu items anywhere you want on the website. So I could take this home button and stick it down here, or again, like I said before, create a copy of it. So I could actually copy that and come down here and paste it, and then I could have this button displaying the home page from either this top navigation bar or down here from our footer navigation section on our website. And then here's a nested navigation within our events page, so we can create navigation within our events. So here again we could create a navigation bar to display to create our navigation menu here on our events page, and of course change the background color and rounded and look and feel of that from blue to black or whatever color you want. And then you could also put it down here at the bottom, so we could easily have a custom navigation bar down here at the bottom for changing it, or you could stick it over on the left or the right, or down here at the footer section of your website if you want. It's really just up to you how you want to. You have a lot of flexibility in how you set up your navigation bars and transition navigate from page to page on your website, or nested pages within pages on your website. So just lots of flexibility to create any type of navigation and page design that you want. Could also take this and create a navigation bar that's on the side, anywhere we want on our website to navigate from page to page. So that's pretty much wraps up this tutorial on creating simple menu items, floater menu items, including the floater menu item, which can be set as a combiner item for the mobile layout. And of course, there's already other tutorial videos for showing how to create pages and connect those pages up to button items or whatever item you want to connect them up to display them on your website. And there's many other videos that will come to or already exist to show you how to manipulate the background color of your items, so changing the background color and border and look and feel of each one of your items on your website. So there we go, change the background color.